Lesson 3: Advanced Features of MS Access 2016. Introduction. In previous chapter, we have studied about DBMS, functionalities of DBMS, elements of MS Access 2013, data types and totaling, sorting, filtering and searching of data. But in this chapter, we will more focus on how to work with tables in a design view. Design view gives you a more detailed view of the structure of the form. You can see the header, detail, and footer sections for the form. You cannot see the underlying data while you are making design changes. However, there are certain tasks you can perform more easily in design view than in layout view. You can add a wider variety of controls to the form, such as labels, images, lines, and rectangles. Edit toolbox control sources in the text boxes themselves without using the property sheet. Resize form sections such as the form header or the detail section. Change certain form properties that cannot be changed in layout view, such as default view or allow form view. Creating a table in design view. To begin creating a new table in design view, click the Create tab on the ribbon and then click the Table Design button in the Tables group. But in this chapter, we will use the same database prepared in the previous chapter. So, to create a table in design view, let's open the same database, Students. In order to add more tables to it, Step 1. Click Create tab. Step 2. Click Table Design in the Tables group. Step 3. The following screen appears as shown in Figure 2. The important parts of the Design View window panes are Field Definition Grid, Field Selector, Field Name, Data Type, Description, Field Properties pane. Field Definition Grid. This allows to specify names, data type, and optional description for each field. It has following important parts. Field Selector. To select a field, click on Field Selector. By doing so, you can add a row above the selected field, delete a row, or reposition the field in the table. It also displays the primary key icon in it. Field Name. Enlist different field names here for the table. Data Type. You can specify the data type here. By default, short text data type is assigned. Description. You can put additional description of the field here. Field Properties pane. To add more details, such as size of the field, format, validation rule, and text, we use Field Properties pane. Let's understand this a lot better by using an example by creating a table with following field: EMP ID, EMP name, and EMP salary. Follow these steps to do so. Step 1. Type EMP ID under field name in the Properties pane. Step 2. Enter Tab key to move the data type column. Step 3. Click the drop-down option and choose an appropriate option. Step 4. Move to Description column using Tab key. Step 5. Type a brief description about the field. It's optional, could be left blank. Step 6. Repeat the steps from 1 to 5 and enter remaining two fields, EMP name and EMP salary, as shown in Figure 3. Step 7. To make EMP ID as primary key, you can follow any of the two ways. Click the EMP ID field. In the Design tab, select the Primary Key button in the Tools group. You can also select Primary Key button by simply right-clicking the EMP ID field. Step 8. A key icon now appears in the field sector, indicating that a primary key has been set now. Step 9. Select Save As. The dialog box pops out, and save the table as Employee Details and click OK. Step 10. To insert data into the table, you need to open the Data Sheet view. Go to the Views group, click the View drop-down and select Data Sheet view. Remove Primary Key. Click the Primary Key button in the Design tab. Works as a toggle button for turn primary key on or off. Lookup field. In Microsoft Access, you can add a field to a table to look up information in another table. You typically use this technique when you want to create relationships between tables. In the Lookup wizard, the values appear in the drop-down list. Step 1. In the Design view, select any empty cell you want to make a lookup column. Step 2. Click the drop-down arrow and select the Lookup wizard option. Step 3. Screen 1 opens up and select the second option. I will type in the values what I want. Click Next. Step 4. Screen 2 of Lookup wizard opens up. Enter the number of columns as 1 and click the first cell in col 1. Enter the data. Move to each by pressing Tab key of keyboard. Click Next. Step 5. Screen 3 of Lookup wizard opens up. Enter the label EMP position needed for the table. Click Finish. Step 6. The column EMP position appears below the EMP salary field in the Design view. When working with data in tables, you may encounter situations that require the data be restricted or adhere to some default specifications in particular columns. You can define these requirements by using the field properties. Some of the most important field properties to note are field size. This property also exists for the common text data type. It enables you to set a maximum size limit on data entered in that column. For the text data type, size refers to the length, number of characters and spaces of the text data in that column. For the data number, field size determines the range and bytes that can be used for storage. Format. This specifies how data will be displayed. Date and time formats. There are many predefined formats such as general date, long date, medium date, short date, long time, medium time and short time. Number and currency formats. There are 7 predefined formats: general number, currency, euro, fixed, standard, percent and scientific. Input mask. Input mask controls how data is entered into a particular field. Input mask is available for the following data types: text, number, date or time, and currency. For example, if a user needs to enter a telephone number, input mask can create the characters and structure with which you are all familiar. Default value, an important database concept. The default value can help save time in the data entry process. The default value is automatically placed in that column every time a new record is added. Required. Another important property, required, simply forces a user to enter some value using the proper data type in the designated field. A new record will not be added if the required field is not properly filled. As with input mask, this property is an excellent mechanism for asserting more control over the data entry process. Validation rule. It limits the value that the field will accept. For example, if the validation rule for the field is greater than is equal to 1000, it means that the field must contain a value less than or equal to 1000. If you enter a value greater than 1000, you will get an error message. Validation text. This is the error message which is generated when the validation rule is violated. Queries. The real power of a relational database lies in its ability to quickly retrieve and analyze your data by running a query. Queries allow you to pull information from one or more tables based on a set of search conditions you define. A query refers to the action of instruction the database to return some or all of the data in your database. Query can be added by 2 ways. One is Query Wizard and another is Query Design. Let's understand in detail using the same example. Using Query Wizard. Follow the steps to create query using this method. Step 1. Go to Create tab, click the Query Wizard option. Step 2. New Query dialog box opens up. Select Simple Query Wizard and click OK. Step 3. Next Screen 1 for Simple Query Wizard opens up. Select the table where your data is present and then add fields that you want to see in the query results. Then click Next. Step 4. Simple Query Wizard screen 2 appears. Select Detail and click Next. Step 5. If you have a number data type in the table whereby you want to calculate average, sum, min or max for that field, you can do that by clicking Summary Options. Step 6. The Summary Options box appears. Choose any of the many options and click OK. Step 7. Simple Query Wizard screen 3 appears. Type a query name in the text box and select Open the query to view information and click Finish. Step 8. The query result appears in the data sheet view. Using Query Design. Steps to follow for creating queries using Query Design. Step 1. Go to Create tab and click the Query Design option. Step 2. Show Table dialog box appears. Choose the table in the list and click Add. Then click Close. Step 3. The Query Design grid screen appears. Step 4. In the Query Design screen, you can select the fields to be included in query by using one of the following ways. Double-click the field and it will be automatically be placed in the grid. You can also click the field and without releasing the mouse, drag it to the required position in the grid. You can type the field name directly as well. You can also double-click the asterisk mark to include all the columns in the grid. You can hide or show the columns by using the checkbox next to Show Row. Next, you can also sort any of the fields you need to by using the Sort Row in the grid. Click on the corresponding field and choose Ascending or Descending option from the sort box. Criteria can also be applied. For example, simply typing less than is equal to 80,000 in the criteria box so that the employees with salary greater than 80,000 will only be displayed in the data sheet. Running query. To run a query, follow these steps. Step 1. Click the Run button in the Design tab. Step 2. The output screen will be displayed in the data sheet view. Step 3. To close it, click the Query Design screen. Saving a query. To save any query, follow these steps. Step 1. Click the shortcut Save icon on the Quick Access toolbar. Step 2. When you click Save, the Save As dialog box appears. Step 3. Enter the query name and click OK. Forms. Access forms provide non-technical users the ability to add data to your database. Forms also make it easier to insert data across multiple tables. There are several methods to create a form as shown in the figure 31. Forms can be created using 3 different ways as explained below. Using the form command. Follow these steps to create a form. Step 1. Click the concerned table in the navigation pane. Step 2. In the Create tab, select the form. Step 3. A simple form is created and shows the form in the Layout view. The Design, Arrange and Format tabs appear on the ribbon under the Form Layout tools. Step 4. On the Design tab, you can have the following things to do. Click Logo available in the header or footer group. A dialog box will pop up to insert an image. Select an image and click OK. Select Title option from the header or footer group and type a suitable title for the form. On clicking Data and Time option in the same group, a dialog box appears. Select any of the format and click OK. You can also select any of the available themes from the Themes group. Step 5. Go to the Format tab and perform the following. Change the font color using the Font Color button in the Font group. Change the color to blue. Then click anywhere inside the blank area of the form. Similarly, click the Shape Fill option in the Control Formatting group. Select a color palette and thus it changes the color of the form. Step 6. Click on the Save button in Quick Access toolbar. This will open the Save As dialog box. Type the form name as shown in the figure and click OK. Using Split Form. Form can also be created by the split form. Following steps need to be followed. Step 1. Go to Create tab. Step 2. Select the More Forms option from the drop-down arrow in the Forms group. Click on Split Form in that. Step 3. Thus the Split Form window appears. Step 4. Click the Layout view to format the form. Using the Form Wizard. Follow these steps to use the Form Wizard. Step 1. Go to Create tab and click Form Wizard in the Forms group. Step 2. Screen 1 of Form Wizard opens up. Select from the available fields you want in the form. Click Next. Step 3. Screen 2 of Form Wizard appears. Select a form layout. The default section as shown in the figure is columnar. Click Next. Step 4. Screen 3 of Form Wizard opens. Select the first option and click Finish. Step 5. The formatted form is thus created. Reports. A report consists of information that is pulled from tables or queries, as well as information that is stored with the report design, such as labels, headings, and graphics. The tables or queries that provide the underlying data are also known as the report's record source. The two main ways in which a report in MS Access can be created is by using the report command and the report wizard. Let's understand both methods one by one. Using the report command. Follow these steps to use the report command. Step 1. Select the table for which report is to be generated. Step 2. Go to Create tab and select the Report button in the Reports group. Step 3. Click the Print Preview button at the bottom of the layout with window of the report screen. Step 4. Report for the selected database is thus created. Using the Report Wizard. To use the Report Wizard, following steps need to be followed. Step 1. Go to Create tab and select the Report Wizard from the Reports group. Step 2. Screen 1 of Report Wizard appears. Select the table and choose the fields you want to see in the reports. Click Next. Step 3. Screen 2 of Report Wizard opens up. Select the grouping level and click Next. Step 4. Screen 3 of the Report Wizard opens up, where you can set the sort order and the summary option. You can sort data by up to 4 fields. By default, sorting is in the ascending order. Click the appropriate button and click Next. Step 5. Report Wizard Screen 4 appears. In that, select the type of layout and orientation of the report required and click Next. Step 6. Screen 5 of the Report Wizard appears and select the preview, the report and click Finish. This will generate the report. Keywords. Primary key is a special relational database, table column or combination of columns designated to uniquely identify all table records. Query refers to the action of instructing the database to return some or all of the data in your database. Form in Access is a database object that you can use to create a user interface for a database application. Report consists of information that is pulled from tables or queries, as well as information that is stored with the report design, such as labels, headings, and graphics. Quick recap. In Microsoft Access, you can add a field to a table to look up information in another table. The real power of a relational database lies in its ability to quickly retrieve and analyze your data by running a query. The field definition grid consists of the field selector and the field name, data type, and description columns. Query can be added by 2 ways. One is Query Wizard and another is Query Design. Access forms provide non-technical users the ability to add data to your database. Forms can be created using 3 different ways as explained below. Using the form command, using split form, using the form wizard. A report consists of information that is pulled from tables or queries, as well as information that is stored with the report design, such as labels, headings, and graphics. The 2 main ways in which a report in MS Access can be created is by using the report command and the report wizard.